Bhagwan, it will be done. Oof, that chicken coop smells foul. This is Indian bush bashing at its finest. Indra's giving us a gift of wind. Whoa. How did Fozzie know that there's going to be a hollow pocket there on the wall? Anything for an adventure. That realm that I like to fool around in. Sometimes it's the little sacrifices that make up the grandest of adventures. I could sleep here, no dramas. Oh, I did it again. Oh. Okay, guys. So, still day 2 in Pune. You guys have probably seen the previous footage now at the Ghorawadi Caves. Pretty tired after that, but we're on the way to the Bedse Caves, the Bedse Gufa. Now, just a little bit of a history lesson, I guess, and I mean, I guess we'll sort of see about the time period. Now, at least on the internet, at least on Wikipedia, it doesn't give a determination on when the caves were actually cut, and they just merely talk about the tracing of habitation to these caves, which is to the 1st century BC, as opposed to the Ghorawadi Caves, which are tracing back to habitation of the 4th century CE or AD. So there's obviously a 600-year gap, 500-year gap, give or take. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the architectural design is the same. I wouldn't be surprised if the construction methods are the same, which would indicate to me that it'll be the same builders. But they say that the Bedse Caves are traced back to the Satavahanas period. Now, whether that's true or not is, you know, is to be seen. I suspect, much like many of the other caves, it's merely just conjecture based upon some rudimentary dating of some scrawlings on walls that aren't part of the original site, essentially. But we're about maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes away. Now, there's 550 steps to get into these caves, which I'm not looking that forward to because my legs are mangled. But I'll do it, we'll do it, we have to do it. By Bhagwan, it will be done. So we're in a pretty rural area, villages, farmlands. Apparently this place has a lock and key, essentially, to get in. You've got to ask the locals. Apparently there's a villager at the end of the road or something that you get the keys from to access it. Oof, that chicken coop smells foul. Off-roading in the rickshaw. This is Indian bush bashing at its finest. Not that different from Australian bush bashing, except this would be done in a Jeep instead of a rickshaw. The gate's open. Okay. Is that bottle? Oh, no, it's not. No, it's alright. Oof.
गुफा है हाँ बुद्धिस्ट केव बुद्धिज्म आपके माचिस वाचिस है ना
Okay.
Wow,
so this is the entrance to the Bedse Caves, the Bedse Gufa, and they've got an image of the Sanchi Stupa at the gate. Manu's stretching her legs. I should probably do the same. Had to tighten up the boots to get down the hill at the Ghorawadi, those other caves that we just went to recently. Oh my god, man, I'm wrecked. Okay, 3 steps down, only 547 to go. Let's go, guys. At least these aren't that steep.
like almost approximately 580.
580. God damn. I thought I'd quickly show you guys. So right here, doesn't look like much, and I hope it doesn't bore you. But this is actually the original staircase that was carved out to go up to the cave system. Now, obviously, you can see some rudimentary cement work that has been done at a much later date by the ASI and the British, but primarily the ASI. But yeah, this right here, this basalt, this has all been carved to be the original staircase. So they've followed essentially the entire line all the way up. So under all of this modern basalt that's been cut into very thin blocks that get layered on top with cement is actually the original foundational structure of the staircase, which is very, very cool. So yeah, we'll keep making our way up. The sun's not really out anymore. It's still there on the horizon, but there's a nice breeze, which is charging my bones. Indra's giving us a gift of wind, so we don't sweat and pass out. Whoa. All right, guys. So we've made it to the Bedse Caves, or the Bedse Leni Gufa, as it's colloquially known. Now, it runs along this main wall. There's a really interesting Chaitya hall that's right nearby that we're going to check out, but we'll start here. Start at the end of the Bedse Caves. There's not a lot to see on this side, but there is indeed an aquifer. This is not a rain harvesting mechanism because of the inward scooping, the inward excavation. So a lot of the rain that would run down would actually miss this. Oh, there's something interesting there. Just an observational experience. Let's go for a quick climb, even though my legs are stuffed. Oh, it's just a hole? Ah, bugger. Well, you guys can see, apparently it leads into nothing, but that's all right. Now I've got to make my way back down. Oh, man. Oh, dude, I don't want to go down any more hills after today. I don't want to go down any more hills for the next 3 months. Oh, okay, there's one more section over here. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, wow. Rock cut channel, downward chisel marks, all the common signs, especially when you look at the basalt rock cut architecture. Let's have a quick look. Now, it's slightly shorter than 6 foot. I suspect this would eventually be carved into a stupa. As you can see, the cylindrical base, this would eventually be carved inwards, perhaps to turn into, you know what? I actually have got no clue. I don't even know if this would be a stupa. I feel that it would be a stupa eventually, but it's a very unique, very, very unique sculpture. And there's a lot of reverberation in here, as you can hear. So, yeah, not much to see, but the acoustics in here are mental. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Moving on to the next section. Yeah, it's almost like a stupa's been started to be carved. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit rough on your feet. Oh. It's got some pretty funky acoustics in here. You good? Yeah. Yeah, so move on to the next section in just a moment, guys. Okay, moving on from the first cave towards the second cave, but along the way, there's a couple of interesting features. So the Stupa. Now the Buddhist Stupa is very, very interesting and quite unique, in fact. You'll see this design across many of the cave systems in central India, Maharashtra. You'll see these in Odisha. You will see these in some areas of Madhya Pradesh, but primarily you will see these in Maharashtra. Now, much like the Ghorawadi Caves that we were just at in the previous episode, I showed you the tri-banding that wraps along the top of the top cave, the last cave of the system. Now you can see the tri-banding here as well. Now there's been a lot of erosion that has been done to this stupa. It has been out in the open for a very, very, very long time. And not just has it been outside for a very long time, but someone has come and scrawled some Brahmi into this. And you can see it. It's actually easier to see on my camera, to be honest with you. This is crazy. So I'll take some screenshots as I move along. If anyone is great at reading Brahmi script, I'd really love your input, but we'll go through. You can see where there's been some rudimentary cutting done. There's not a lot of symmetry across, and it ends just there. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. See the Brahmi script on the wall? Take a video as well if you want. Another aquifer likely connects to the one on the left-hand side, to the left of Manu. Another aquifer likely connects to the one left of it, and then subsequently the one left of Manu. You'll see some more Brahmi script above. Very rudimentary, not a lot of symmetry to it. Likely came at a much later date. Now, I think I'll skip the piece de resistance. Oh, no, I won't. Should we skip this first? You reckon I should skip this first and come to it last, or should I do it now while the sun's still up? Yeah, we'll do it now while the sun's still up. Okay, we'll get into the main Chaitya. Now, this is incredible. I guess I'll just get right to it and show you guys. It's got pillars that look like the pillars of a soccer in some way, shape or form, but here it is, guys. Get ready for it. Now, I'll take some photos, of course, or Manu will be taking some photos for me, but on first inspection, right at the top of the entrance gate, you'll see the tri-banding once again. You'll actually see the nubs. Now, the nubs are something that a few friends of mine in other parts of the world who are also interested in ancient history take deep fascination upon. Nubs are found all across central India, expanding from Gujarat into Maharashtra, into Odisha, and into Tamil Nadu. Whoa, this is friggin' crazy, man. Okay. So, like the rest of the site, basalt cut. The tri-banding's everywhere. And there's a unique feature that I've not actually seen before at any of the other sites, which is this grate look, this cylindrical carved grating that almost resembles... I'm not really too sure what it resembles, but something familiar. The archways, the blossoming effect, I've forgotten the name. I'm just going to put it down here, to be honest with you guys. And if it's not there, then I apologize. And someone needs to tell me what it's actually called, because you see them all over central India. You see them at the tops of the cicadas in mandirs and things like that. Anyway. What's Fozzie doing? Why is he looking at a bare wall? That's why. Wait till I show Manu. Now you've seen it first. How did Fozzie know that there's going to be a hollow pocket there on the wall? Kya? Watch my Canary Caves video from when I was in Mumbai last year. You made it. Sundur hai. How did I know? How does he know these things? How does Fozzie know these things, bro? Geopolymer, boys and girls. Geopolymer. Fake wall. Looks like the real McCoy. Looks like the real deal. Wow. As opposed to, that's the real McCoy. But that's not. That's a fake wall. That is a fake wall, my friends. Whoa. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. All right. I'll show you the outside one more time and then we'll make our way inside. It is incredible. Very much like the Kala Caves in Lonavala, which is actually not that far away. Lonavala is less than 10 kilometers from here. So I'm not surprised that the cave systems look identical in many respects. They were probably originally carved by the same builders. So I'll show you guys in shortly. I'm just going to show something to Manu and she's going to be shocked and she's going to ask me how the hell I knew that or how the hell I figured that out. But she knows that I've got a big brain for these things. So give me a sec. All right, we'll head into the main Chaitya hall now. So get ready for it, guys. I've had a brief look, a brief little tease, but here we are. You'll see up on the pillars, you'll see the Dharma Chakra. You'll see some very unique iconography that I haven't seen on the pillars at some of the other caves. The Dharma Chakra I've seen, the lotus flowers I've seen. This has a whirlpool on it and what looks to look like some sort of necklace. Now this is all basalt, but real. All of this is real, guys. All of this is real. This is all, well, I assume that it is all real. I've just mangled my silver ring to show in case how real certain sections of walls are. So you guys better appreciate that. I literally butchered my silver ring to tap that rock. But that's okay. Anything for an adventure. So the tri-banding, once again, now this is a unique one. I haven't actually seen this before, is a double layered approach of tri-banding. So this is the stock standard tri-banding that wraps around most of the stupas. There's actually a first layer, a second layer, and then a third layer. Now, at the top, if you've seen some of my other footage, I essentially, to go in to describe what kind of resembles a stepwell in many respects. So you can see at the top of the spherical structure of the stupa, you will see what looks like a box, a cuboidal structure, which then leads to a trapezoidal structure that moves upwards and outwards like a staircase, which kind of resembles a stepwell in some way, shape or form. I know obviously it's Buddhist and it has specific Buddhist references to it, but there's no way that the Buddhists actually carved this out. Right? There's no conceivable notion in my head that they carved these things out because the rock is just too dense and there's so much that had to be hauled. And you can see at the top, you'll see what looks to be the base of the umbrella that would sit on top of where that flower bud is. It kind of looks like a seed, to be honest, but I'll take some photos of it. Very, very cool. You'll see the erosion, the chisel marks in the top section. You'll see all these holes that are punched out. Now, these holes, you'll have ASI and other historians that will tell you that these holes are often used and were used and carved out for candles. This is obviously not the case. This was part of the excavation process. So wooden beams would go from between point A hole and point B hole, and then you can see these upward marks, these grooved cuts. What these were for actually for wooden beams that would be water treated, heat and water treated and bent to wrap around the top section of the Chaitya hall, which would stabilize the entire structure. Now, I suspect that was during the excavation process, but if I'm to go into a real realm of questionable possibilities, what would be seen as conspiracy, as I've just shown you outside, there's in fact geopolymer at play. So there's a likelihood and there's a chance the geopolymer was also at play in this Chaitya hall. So yeah, it's incredible, guys. It's gorgeous. This is absolutely stunning. If you guys are enjoying this footage, and I hope you are, because I'm enjoying recording this footage, then give me a follow, give me a subscribe, right? You don't have to, of course. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not going to twist your arm. But I would very much appreciate it, because I like showing these ancient places, not just to my Indian followers, but also my American followers and my Australian followers, and showing the real ancient history of India and what could possibly be things that are much, much older than what the mainstream historians put upon them. And I suspect that places like this are the evidence for that line of thought, that realm that I like to fool around in, so to speak. But anyway, guys. Oh, and if you're feeling generous, you can always give me a donation through Buy Me a Coffee, which would really help me out. It's not necessary, but just your general support, right, is something that holds very dear to me. So anyway, I'll shut up now. I'll stop begging. All right, we are now at the main vihara. This is wild. This is nuts. Now, the main vihara connects to an aquifer, a rock-cut aquifer below. This is clearly not a rainwater catchment system, because as you can see, all of this is covering any chance of rain getting in. There might be a few spittles and droplets that will run down and over the rock, but an actual rainwater catchment system would be in the open, right? So there is water in there. It is filled to the brim. Obviously, we can't go for a dive and a swim and check what's out, but check what's in there. But yeah, this is nuts. Oh, that's at the Bedse Caves. The pyramidal structures. See up the top there? There's one of those rooms and it was plastered out the front. Oh, same builders. Same builders. I don't care what you think, same builders. Tri-banding all the way around. The blossoming effect of energy rising up from each room. And I suspect that these rooms are probably used for meditation. Oh, I just smacked me toes on the rock. Oh man, sometimes it's the little sacrifices that make up the grandest of adventures. I would say this is actually quite close to completion, in fact. And I know as well that it's close to completion. So this would have eventually been a window that goes through. Now, many other sites, and over in the other area where the Chaitya hall is, there is actually, in fact, the windows that have been carved out. So there is incomplete work here, and that's okay. No judgment. It doesn't bother me that the work was incomplete. Is that one cut all the way through? No, it's more dug in wood. So this was even closer to completion. Okay. Very, very beautiful. The tri-banding, as I've mentioned, with the nubs. And these are actually quite large nubs, and I can actually grab them for the first time. The other places, they're too high up. Let's see this. Oh. felt something. I think my chakra just like, I think I'm spilling over out of my brain right now. Oh my God, that was nuts. Some sort of imagery, some sort of idol. This doesn't look like it's Buddha. I'm quite unclear on what this is meant to be, but it looks like they're holding maybe tools, something above their head. This is clearly arms, and this is clearly the head, the body, wearing some sort of garment, maybe a kurta, standing upon something, but here it looks like they're holding on to something. Maybe the tools that were used to carve this site. Not sure, and we'll never know. But what a beautiful sight it is. Man, this is, I could actually, to be honest, maybe I could sleep here. I could sleep here, no dramas. Maybe we could just like hide in one of these rooms, and when they're gone, we'll just sleep here for the night. Mineral deposits in the ceilings. Oh, anyway, you don't want to hear about the rocks. I know you guys don't care for the bloody rocks and stuff like that. But wow. Absolutely wow. Alright. We'll go check out a couple more spots. I don't think there's much more. I think there might be maybe one or two more spots, and then we're pretty much done. But what a magnificent place. What a beautiful place. Bedse Lenni Gufa Sundur hai. I actually kind of prefer the main vihara, to be honest, over the Chaitya. No, I'm joking. I actually love both of them equally. I'd be selfish to choose one over the other. Right, we're just at the final little... Oh, I did it again. Oh, fuzzy. I have thrashed my toes today. But that's okay, because it's all about the adventure, right? So sucked into me. Yeah, anyway. Found a pinch hole. Now, I suspect it's a pinch hole. It might not be. It could just be a break out of the column. Oh, maybe it actually is just a break out of the column if there was a wall here. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think I immediately saw this and I thought, oh, well, this is a pinch hole. But it might not be. This was probably part of a... I'm actually not too sure. I know you guys don't find it fascinating. Yeah, that does. But there is another aquifer here, and it is definitely not a rain harvesting system. Now, some of the ones are a little bit more on the questionable side, admittedly, at the Ghorawadi Caves. But here, for sure, this is not a rain harvesting system. Aquifer, water body, roof, rainfall, over the edge, avoids the aquifer. You can see it from the other side as well. So it is in here. Now, I might see if I can... I've actually never used the camera underwater, and I'm not sure if I should. I really don't want to fuck the camera. Pardon the French. But I'll see if I can just show you guys under the water. I'm sure you can see. There's not much to see. Maybe I can just dip the camera in. Maybe I can just be very, very careful. No, I'm not going to risk it. I just dip the camera in. I mean, at least the lens, but it's too dark. Anyway, so this is it. This is it, guys. Okay, guys, it's the end of the day here at the Bedse Caves. We've finished up. I've shown you some beautiful architectural marvels. I've shown you some evidence of geopolymers. I've shown you the tri-banding that's similar to the Bedse, to the Ghorawadi Caves. I've shown you nubs that are prominent not just all across central India, but in places in South America and Egypt and other places as well. Showing you a little bit of the acoustics. I haven't seen any boar drill marks, which is a bit of a disappointment, but I'm not going to let it rattle me, because clearly there would have been some here, and there probably is some, but they might be up and around on the greater outer complex of the site, or the greater outer walls of the total site. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed the footage. So from me to you, to wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And Jai Shri Ram.